Oh, what a day. We're starting. Well, sometimes, like you say, when things don't go the way you have planned, it often ends much better than you plan. And we hope today will be like that. Yeah, it's a little bit stretchy. So let's move on straight into entertainment. And I'm glad to have with me this morning our analyst, uh, Akindamola Adeboye. Good morning, Damola.
Good morning, Uncle Faj. Good morning, every listener out there. Happy weekend. Happy weekend.
Happy weekend indeed. Okay, let's I'm doing all the raconteur, so to speak, from here. And then hopefully Damola will be able to intervene and give us his perspective that gets some people angry and all that. Look, entitled to his opinion. Nollywood stars are rallying support for veteran Yoruba actor Taiwo Hassan, popularly known as Ogogo, um, following his daughter's emotional revelation that he's battling stage 4 cancer. Femi Adeboye and Toyin Abraham say the family is not asking for money, but urgent medical guidance, including specialists and treatment centers capable of reviewing the case. Yeah, we heard that. We heard clearly. Then doctor intervened and said he clarified that the controversy surrounding the claims that hospitals are refusing to treat Ogogo. The gentleman, Dr. Olushina Ajidahun, says some stage 4 cancer patients may move to palliative care after available treatments, including chemotherapy, have been explored. He stressed that palliative care is still medical care aimed at managing symptoms and improving quality of life. That's like go home and just live the best as you can. And that means they've given up medically. So just to palliative is to an intervention to help you manage your life until the Lord calls you home. Uh, then veteran actor Jide Kosoko. I wanted to just scam all the stories about Ogogo in one lump. Then we talk about it. Jide Kosoko says Ogogo's family has received hundreds of offers. Actually, the next story says 500 offers of help for Ogogo. And is a hundreds of offers of medical, traditional, and spiritual assistance, but cannot move him around because of his current condition. Kosoko appealed for understanding and all that. Then, reportedly, Ugo has received more than 500 offers of medical, spiritual, and other forms of assistance since news of his stage 4 cancer became public. His colleague and good friend, Ika Kwori, says the challenge is deciding which offers can be pursued without disrupting his ongoing hospital treatment. They're all just trying to show love for. He's a wonderful artist, a great gentleman, and it's well loved, personable. Another one says, where is that? There was even a vigil for him a couple of days ago. It's colleagues and all that. There's so much, groundswell of admiration and sentiment and sympathy and what have you for Taiwo Hassan Ogogo. And even from here, like we said last week, it's so perplexing. Stage 4 is quite critical. I think that's the last
Mhm.
stage in this
Yes,
cancer
that's the
treatment
last.
thing.
That's the last. That's the last stage.
Uh, it's devastating. I can't imagine having
Well,
something.
to the family, I just, I extend my empathy because I remembered my father had
Mm,
pro- they diagnosed him with prostate cancer, and after some time, the doctor told me quite forthright doctor that Baba can't undergo chemotherapy again. That he's too old
Mm,
for his body to take that. That they can only take care of him as much as they can, and that they would be advising on what to do and stuff. And then it was not about the money with my father too. It was just about that. Okay, there is nothing to be done about this again. That we should just pray. We should just pray on. And I remember that my father on his sick bed then at the hospital um, when he had the last crisis, and I was there. And after stabilizing him, he called me and said, he called me by the name he used to call me, and he said, "I'm ready to go." And I
mm,
was
mm.
it was a different feeling entirely. I
Emotionally,
mean, here was the man,
drained.
yeah, here was the man. He had already prepared for his death, but now he's telling me he's ready to go. And I told him, I said, "Baba, you can go. Baba, you can
Mm,
go." And
mm.
not quite 10 minutes later, he closed his eye and he left.
And he
So it
left.
could be quite challenging, accepting that someone you love so dearly is just
Whatever the
slipping
age,
away like
yeah,
that.
it's
Yeah,
some
uh-huh. but
devastating
but
experience.
it's
Yeah,
yeah, that's the reality of life. Everybody, I right from when I'm young, I love the Google. I love the Google, but
yeah,
I
good
think
one.
yeah, but it's
Yeah,
something. I
prayers,
think it's
our,
to
our prayers
come
are
to
with the
reality.
family now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm with Ogogo. It's
Yeah, we can only pray for him. All these
it,
charlatans are now peddling, and once one
don't
walks,
call
he
all
will
of them
start saying
charlatan.
this.
They also want to help. Some of them, I mean, like one gentleman that said I mean, he treated one of these other well-known actor. I've forgotten his name now. Uh, Don Richard. Yeah, and he had some kind of remission, and it worked for him. I don't know in his own stage and all that.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, it could work. Sometimes
people will
those things
say,
work. Sometimes,
yeah, people say if you don't buy lie, you won't see truth until it goes.
you use the
But
truth, see the
really,
truth.
but how do
That's
you deal with 500 all kinds of stuff? It's chaotic, you know. Uh,
And of
we
course,
can
the
only
family should be careful what they introduce to his
only
body
beg
now,
God.
because people will bring all sorts of things. You should drink
All
this. You should
sorts. They can't even
practice
have
this, and all
access to it.
sorts.
So
Uh-huh.
hospitals will not allow. A serious hospital will not allow. And then you can't carry him around. And one came and said they should bring him to or show something, something. Or should go, well, the prayer is you don't know what it tests your life until you fall ill. And
Yes, yes, yes,
it's,
yes,
it's
yes.
it's so devastating. What is good that people
Not
are
really.
rolling around. It shows this place he has in their hearts,
In their
and
hearts,
we
yeah.
continue to pray
It
for
does.
him.
It does. It does.
He's a good
It does.
fellow.
We'll continue
Don't
to pray
want
for
to
him from
lose.
our end.
Don't want to lose him. Yes.
We don't want
Okay.
to lose him now, yes, because he's
Mm,
old, but he's quite young. So we don't
yeah,
want to lose him for
I think
now.
it's
We
about
don't want
66 or 60 something. Yeah.
Yeah. So
No,
we don't want to lose him for now. Our
we
prayers are with
don't.
the family.
Yes.
I pray that he recovers from this. I pray that he recovers
Amen.
from this.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, my brother. Still on entertainment news, Afrobeat star Davido says there was a time he was genuinely broke, despite coming from one of Nigeria's wealthiest families. Speaking on the Uncut podcast, David Adeleke said he struggled financially after leaving home to pursue music against his father's wishes. He said his early hit, Back When, reflected that experience. Today, of course, Davido is one of Africa's biggest music stars. Yeah, it's like the broken clock. At least
Mm-hmm.
once or twice in a day, in 24 hours, it will be right. So it can happen. Even the wealthiest of us, sometimes you get
Yeah.
a moment of brokenness, so to speak, when the thing just vanished. You know, I was reading a piece
Valid.
about Femi Otedola when suddenly he lost so many billions. You know, he had to pay back the
Billions. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know,
It happens
and
in
it was
life.
like
It happens
starting
in
all over
life.
again. You know? So billionaires you
I,
can get
I
broke.
remember. I remembered when I got an appointment with a company, and they posted me as the project manager to Lokoja. That was Dangote Cement and Obajana Cement Factory. And
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody in Lokoja, but someone introduced me to my wonderful Egbon Shegun Mustafa then, and he was staying in a shared flat. And I remembered anytime Egbon has a visitor, I sleep in the sitting room. Sitting room is bare, nothing is so whatsoever, but there is this half rug like that you can only turn once on. And I was looking at myself. I had a whole apartment to myself in Lagos, and there I was
Yeah.
in Lokoja sleeping on the floor.
Oh,
And and in the morning, I would dress up. I had an official vehicle then, a Hilux. I would dress up, get into the Hilux, and nobody would knew I slept on the floor till morning. So it's
wow.
it's it's
Wow.
all good. It's all good.
It happens.
That's life. That's life. It's all good.
Okay. Well, this is a lovely one. Burna Boy and Shakira. Let me. I love this song. Let's play it even before I begin to speak. You may not hear it because I don't want issues with what do you call it, copyright and all that stuff.
Okay.
What is playing is Die Die, the hot FIFA World Cup song between Shakira and our own Burna Boy. And what's the story about? The song has topped the Billboard Global 200 for 5 consecutive weeks, and the global excluding US chart for 8 weeks. According to Billboard, it recorded more than 44 million streams worldwide in just 1 week, confirming its status as one of the biggest international hits of 2026. And we are born about it. It's lovely to be a Nigerian now. Na, 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 na. That's Die Die, Shakira, and I think it's Colombian, and Bonner
Yeah.
Boy, Niger, says Kolo Niger combo. Mm. Yeah, thank you. There. I love the song. It made football good to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we move on. It's lovely to hear Bonner Boy speak Spanish, sing Spanish. Well, it would have been nice to put some pidgin or some local native voice there, apart from the Spanish. Okay, thank you. Let's move on to this next story. I'm sure Damola will have his opinion about the last 2 or 3 stories. Okay. Marvin Records boss Don Jazzy says Ara Star has changed his life too. Responding to a fan who praised him for discovering the singer, Don Jazzy said he still blesses the day someone showed him Ara's Instagram's freestyle. Since signing her, Ara Star has become a major global Afrobeat star. Her new album, Star Girl, features artists including Wizkid, Rema, and Zayn. Hmm. I was just thinking of my room. I was just thinking, yeah, if it has touched your life like this, why don't you just do the needful? Eh? Because but what's his name? Don Jazzy has an eligible bachelor like for like 20 years now. We've been waiting for him. I'm praying for him. Okay, so how has Zara Star changed your life? I know. I think she was like an instructor in the kindergarten when she made the freestyle that brought them together, and then he became an artist on his label. So I would have loved to know how he changed his life. To get into the details, Abby. I was saying, could there something come out of that place, out of that? Oh,
Maybe it was just maybe it's just saying it business wise. Maybe it's just saying it business wise because
knowing that guy,
the-
it's likely business wise. It's like most likely business wise. You know. And I was just praying for him. His father is my friend, is my good friend. Uh,
wow.
um, and I was
So
wondering,
when you get to that stage in life, if you have not chosen already, it becomes difficult.
it was difficult.
Except
Yeah, I think it's about 40 now.
yeah, yeah, it becomes difficult because he has all
Mm,
your success around him and stuff. And then, so who do you
fame
choose?
and everything. You know what the
How do you
woman,
choose them?
what is, what is
Uh, as
magnetizing the woman. Yeah.
yeah, and he's so popular. His face is so out there. So, and
Hmm.
the women around him are ready to do anything he wants, anything at least
Yeah.
for now, anything. So it becomes
Yeah.
difficult. I
Yeah.
understand this predicament. I
Hmm.
had that issue once, and someone advised me that you don't allow that good woman to pass you by, and I took to that advice
Hmm.
because then
Hmm.
yeah, I was a big boy on campus. I was everything, and I took to that advice. He told me that you can see my life now that I don't like where I am, but I have to manage that. You don't manage, and I took to that
Yeah,
advice.
you have the
I seriously took
opportunities.
that advice
That's
because
nice.
yeah,
That's nice.
don't manage. Just grab that good woman. Just grab her. She may not look
Good women are
like
very
it.
scarce. Good women are very scarce. When you have it,
Mm-hmm.
grab it.
Just grab it.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that. Next story. This is another interesting one. Actress Shafi Bello has joined the growing debate about respect and how younger people address older Nigerians. She says she dislikes being called simply Shafi by people young enough to be her children and will prefer respectful titles such as ma'am. Bello also admits she cannot stand the casual greeting hi, insisting that culture and upbringing should still teach younger people respect. Oh, I wish Tamilore was there. I would have wanted to know her reaction. The thing about this Olumelu told me,
Uncle Fat, leave Family alone this morning. Well, we'll go to court.
I go to God. Young people nowadays, they have this office culture, the workplace culture. They say everybody just call them by first name and all that stuff. And interestingly, Elumelu was part of that culture too, that warming them, especially
Yeah,
when we had
yeah.
the beginning of
I understand.
DTV,
I
you
understand
know,
where I understand where Elumelu was coming from, but he started it. They started it, and
he's one of them,
they
he's one
can't
of the
stomach it.
starters, you know. But now he has
Uh-huh.
grown older,
It's a,
wiser, and realizes
he
that
has grown older
uh,
now. Right? Why is that?
there should be a limit,
Now he
there
wants to
should be a
change the culture.
limitation. From day
No,
one, I've always wanted, because I have a fancy sobriquet like FAJ. You now see me. My last born is older than you by at least 8 years or 10 years. You know, say, hey, FAJ. I said, do you know what is FAJ? It means my full name, Femi Akintunde-Johnson. Can you call your father his full name? He said, sorry, I thought was
the guy name. No.
A guy name.
No, actually, Uncle Faj. So everybody thinks Faj is a guy name.
Don't mind them.
Everybody thinks yeah.
In my class, is it? They look at me. They don't want to call me, so they call me Mr. Faj. I say, okay, it's better. It's better.
But I find it difficult to address people by their, especially if you are a few years older than I am. I can't imagine it. I can call Egbon. Even people that are 4 years, 5 years older, I call them Egbon because I was not brought up that way. I was not brought up that way, and I find it difficult. Someone that was in primary, someone that was not someone that was not in primary school, someone that was not in primary school when I left university, is now seeing me simply because maybe she has
colleagues now.
So she just gives me, and I want one. Your professors are my mates. They are my classmates. Full-time professors, they are my classmates. You don't say that.
You call your professors by their first names.
My first name, or do you greet your professor and just say good morning without putting the sir?
Sometimes it's because some of you, I was quite, I didn't care about what you call me and all that stuff in the past. But you see, people took liberties for license, and they became unruly with it. And you realize that, now, because it affects your, I'm standing by my wife, and you just come and say, practically saying Femi, and look at you, you are maybe like 25 years younger than I am. And of course, my wife will feel offended. Even if I'm saying, hey, don't worry, it's just but you see, so you need to put the foot down and say no. So it's where we have to teach our children.
I also warned another person. I said freedom of expression does not exclude you from freedom of consequences.
Yeah.
You can't address me anyhow, and you now expect me to. I will not.
To reciprocate.
I will not.
Yeah. Okay. I think the lady who started the whole thing will get his own. She's gotten her bearing right now. If not, her parents will help her to adjust and all that. And everyone out there, it doesn't cost you to be respectful. There are people who are older than me. I still use air for them because we are not close. We're not close. We're not friends.
I will not. I'm not going biased, but that's Yoruba culture. That's Yoruba.
And right beside them, their boss, who's my friend, I use O for him because we are friends. But I don't know you. We're not close, so I use F for you. And if you don't reciprocate, that's your business. I know where to place you. And all that. So, lessons learned on all sides, and we should not make too much noise about it. It's a growing thing. It's a generational thing. All this Gen Z, they have a different culture and all that. We keep on managing one another. They have their own angle to us. How the blame they have against the older generation is mountain high too. When they start expressing their own frustration and all that. So it comes ça, so to speak. Our final story today is a sad one, a fairly sad one. Nigerian gospel singer Ojekunle has announced the end of his 28-year marriage to Kunemofa Asu. The Bayelsa-born musician said the marriage actually ended a year ago, but he waited before making the news public to gain perspective and acceptance. Ikie did not disclose the reason for the separation, describing the experience as a deeply personal transition into a new season of life. Whoa, 28 years. What stands out is gospel singer, 28 years.
Wow. It's not new to me. I was in a meeting that was several years ago, more than 10 years ago, and I remembered a man. He was almost 60 then. Yeah. He he said, thank God he was in that meeting, because if
Hmm.
he was not, he promised us that that Saturday would have been the day he ended his marriage with his wife.
Hmm.
And this was
Hmm.
a marriage of more than of 40 years. Yeah, 40 years. 40 years.
Wow.
Yes. A marriage
Wow.
of 40 years, because they have a 41-year-old child then. I remember they said 40 years, but his firstborn was 41. And he was telling us that, and we were shocked. We are
Hmm.
shocked. 40 years.
Hmm.
And it could be trying. It could be trying. It could be trying. And, as the world gets older, I think we people are not ready to bear some things again at all. And some people can try your patience. I can say that. We have a personal experience in my family. They can try your patience when you are quarreling with everybody, and I mean everybody in the family. Everybody, not one person
Wow.
you see eye to eye to. It becomes an issue. And when the person doesn't know that he or she has that issue, that's where the problem lies. I mean,
Wow.
everybody cannot be your enemy. The Yorubas have a saying, sir. Kumburu titi kama kweni
Well,
komoyo.
it can be so terrible that you don't have a witness, somebody to support you. Hmm.
Support you,
Uh,
not one person. I
hmm.
mean, you blocked everybody in the family, everybody, and you keep on
Wow.
blaming everybody for your issue. So, and when the other party said, Egbon, I didn't want anybody to interfere because I wanted it to be my decision. I'm stepping out. We couldn't see anything because
Hmm.
he was dying gradually. I mean, there was a day he drove from Lekki down to Oshodi, was in front of his house. He called me, and the way he was sounding on the phone, I was afraid. I said, "Where are you?" He said he was in front of the house. Quickly drove down to his house. The car was still in front of the compound, idling, AC on. And I knocked on the window. I entered the vehicle. He said, Egbon, I didn't know I got here.
Wow.
I didn't know how I got here. It could any of either of the gender. It could happen. He said, I didn't know I
Yeah.
got here. That was the day
Hmm.
I was like, wow. So this is how I would have lost, because in that kind of situation, accident can happen, things can happen. I mean, you
Yeah.
drove from all the way from Lekki, near Lagos Business School, down to Oshodi, and you didn't know how you got to Oshodi. He
Wow.
just found himself in front of the house. That was when he started crying. He came to the realization that what's happening to me? So it could be that
No.
frustrating. And until we hear
Hmm. The
the
other side.
story,
Hmm.
no,
Hmm.
I will not. I refuse to judge one way or the other. But it's just that,
Yeah.
well, personally,
Yeah.
it could be trying and traumatizing, staying in a place where you know you are not wanted again. So I wish him all the best.
But
I wish
it's,
him all
it's,
the
it's
best.
so
I
it's
wish
so
him all the
damning, after a relationship of 30, 40 years to hear such
best.
things.
40 years.
It's so damning. But I guess it's for those who sustain and who survive, it's the grace of God. This is by God's grace.
Yeah, it
You
is.
know,
It is. It
because
is.
we are
It
completely
is.
different human beings coming together from different backgrounds, different temperaments
Mm-hmm.
and mentalities and all that. So to
Mm-hmm.
be united as
Mm-hmm.
one, it's not easy. It's not easy. Only the grace of God.
At all.
I'm sorry to
Yeah.
hear about the Asueki and every
I wish you all
collapse
the
in
best.
the
The
marriage
best.
like this. It pains
Wish you all
me. I will wish him all the best. And
the best. Wish you all the
let me
best.
lift our mood with this song. It's an old piece by Keys Daniel featuring techno. It's called Buga. This one will lift us today a bit. Don't sleep, wake up. Kalaya money. Look, that's so good. Koni bache. Hennessy. La la la. La 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 la.
Yeah,
Girl.
we are waiting. We are waiting for another Chris Daniel seat.
Wow. The guy is he never misses.
Yeah,
He's
this is
just blessed.
tending towards the yeah, this is tending towards the end of the year. That is how he does his things. So we are waiting for another hit. We are waiting for another hit.
Kò ní bàjẹ́ ò bá mi fi lálálálá olólóló bùgá o.
Yeah, well, Uncle Fad.
Yeah?
Yeah, I would need to leave very soon. I have a community meeting I'm chairing, so
Okay.
I'm hearing people's voice downstairs already. They're in front of the house.
Okay.
Mm, we
Well,
want to organize our security. The our fence was that flooding pulled down the fence, so we need to. That is the fence inside my clothes, so we need to do that fence and organize the security. It's getting to the end of the year. These guys are they are all around vandalizing and hitting people everywhere.
okay, no problem.
Mm.
I'm kicking off with the Niger trends now. Let me know when
Okay,
you want to leave.
okay.
In fast track, let's move on to Niger trends. The moment we speak about or we speak to issues trending within the Nigerian space, issues of all variety, all sorts, that has ached our interest one way or the other. The number to call is 0913 697 3485 to share your thoughts with us, your reactions to some of the things we'll be saying here. Akindamola Adeboye is still around. Hopefully, we'll head to his voice before he takes his leave. He's asking for permission to go and do some community policing and all that. The number again is 0913 697 3485. And if you want to do SMS or WhatsApp, the number is 0810 713 7559. There's a lot of stories within the week. A lot of political issues fall out from the Ocean election. The winners and losers, the complainants, and even some gunshots and all that. And obviously, a lot of people, many people who don't like the what's it called, the incumbent government. I'm happy celebrating their defeat in Ocean State, and while the same man that they are complaining about just sitting in Abuja conniving and having the same time with the supposed opponents. The supposed opponent, you see, was in Abuja, with the president flaunting his certificate of return, and he was seen with the minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike. And well, you can make what you like of of those pictures, But let's start with the peace accord. President Bola Tinubu, Peter Obi, Omoyole Sowore, and other leading candidates have signed the National Peace Accord ahead of the 2027 elections. Tinubu said elections must not be a do or die affair, while Obi called for votes to genuinely count. INEC also promised neutrality and urged politicians to make campaigns a contest of ideas, not violence. I beg your pardon. Um, by the way, Adeboye, sorry, Damola. If you look at the way the goings on and all that happened at the Osun elections, it points to the fact that maybe, just maybe, ANEC is getting hang of this thing, and because the election was fairly fair and fairly free, and it's not exactly a dark horse, but Adeleke was predicted to have a tough time getting back, yet he made it with over 60,000 votes on the counter. What do you make of it, that election, vis-a-vis 2027?
Okay. First of all, I've always been saying it. INEC is not the problem. That's the truth. INEC has never been the problem. I don't know how we want to do it, but you see, the hard hoc staff that INEC needs, the manpower, that has always been the issue, not the INEC staff themselves, the hard hoc staff. That has always been the issue. For people that have really not stayed in your home, actually conduct. I have been with INEC supervising and stuff like that one, and I have seen it. But but it's a Nigerian thing. There is a systemic problem, and people are inside the system and they don't want to talk. They don't want to expose the system. With Osun, a lot of high politicking went on. And I told people, you are just shouting yourself hoarse for these people. They know themselves. It's just all politics. And that if we want to get it right, we will get it right. I think, was it last week or so that someone was saying what was 30 commissioners of police doing in Osun. Now they can see what they are going to do. If I had, it's not that I'm not a psychopath, but I have been on the field for quite a while, so I'm not an armchair critic. I have been in the system, so when I'm saying it based on reality. Now, for each local government, they had a commissioner, and I know that most of the area commands in Lagos, their personnel, at least 30-40% of the personnel of the area commands, they were in Osun. They were in Osun to ensure that things went on smoothly. Before the election, yeah, there were killings, there were fighting. It was just because of the money that we had been shared. People wanted to show that I was in charge of my area. Videos were made. You've given those ones money. Am I not entitled to some? And Osun is not Lagos. So this was their season to make the kind of money they wanted to make. After that one is the next election cycle again. And, Adeleke, his family has always been the progressive. But something happened, and they had the pot into PDP and stuff like that one. He wanted to come back into APC. And the president, being who he is, he said he respected the local party leadership. It was a win-win for it in the whole of the thing. It was a win-win for the president. And handshake, exchange hands, and okay, we are not going to interfere. Everybody go and test your metal with the people. Let the people vote. And people are angry that Adeleke went to Abuja to present his certificate. That was the person that returned him actually, because they could have interfered. Yeah,
Yeah, they could
I
have.
mean,
That's how
a
to
Davido that
them.
was yeah, a Davido that was jumping all of around Oshun saying that APC is finished and stuff like that one. He went to the I would say the number one man in APC now that is in PDP, a Wike. I mean, we all saw the video.
Yeah.
Frustrated for Wike, and I mean, and one thing I love about that family is this. I think they are handling things well. That's the Adeleke family. It's they from generation to generation, they keep on teaching their kids this is the way to go and stuff. In business, in relationships, and in nobody could have if I had said last week that Davido will go and greet a wiki. No, but he has done it, and nothing will happen. Oshun will vote coming next January. Oshun will vote for the president again. He has captured the place already through their governor. They love their governor, and the last election 2020
And you
this
think they will follow the governor because of his love for the
well, they
president?
say they are not. Well, they said they are not bastards. That's what they said. They said they are not bastards. They said they are not
Well,
bastards.
I think politics, either
No,
states or federal, is more
no, that's what they
nuanced
said.
than that.
The people as they put out a clear message because it was asked of them. Now that you are putting for Adeleke, so in the presidential election, who will you vote for? They say they are not bastards. Oh, that's
I
enough
don't
for
think
me.
few voices can speak for all of us. In any case, let's leave matter for as they say for Matthias. 2027 will
Okay,
show who
no, no, okay. I
where
will,
the
sir.
people go.
The coming election will come and go, and I pray it goes well. Anyhow it goes. For me, it's about the system. It's
I
about
join your prayers. Yes, I join your prayer.
so
Before you
it's
leave, I
about
want
the
to hear your
system.
points. Before you leave, I want to hear your point on this issue that Jonathan raised, and I think it's worth talking about. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has criticized the growing practice of governors and powerful politicians descending on states holding off-cycle elections with large entourages and security details. He warned that such displays of political power could intimidate voters and turn elections into battles for survival rather than peaceful contest for the people's mandate. You know, there were allegations that about 16 or 20 governors, assailed the Osun state, especially the capital, and creating all kinds of tension in the state and all that. I saw a video while they were leaving around 2 a.m., according to the time mark on the video, people shouting derogatorily about on them as they were leaving town when the elections seemingly was lost. You know, is Jonathan concern legitimate?
Yeah, in a way it is. In a way it is not, because all over the world, off-cycle elections, the ruling party in the center always goes to that state to canvass votes for their candidate, because nobody wants to lose ground anywhere, even in the US. I think this is the first time in a while that a sitting president has not gone to um, a state that is conducting an off-cycle election to go and canvass votes for his party. For quite a number of years, it has been happening. And the
Hmm.
only thing is that we do things with impunity here, we, not caring whose ox is God. But I tell you, people already know who they want to vote for. There is no intimidation. We are so resilient. There is no intimidation anywhere. Okay, with the
Hmm.
16 governors, with all the whole 5 or 6, 7 of them going to Missouri. So what happened in all of the whole of Ilefe? They lost. People know who they want to vote for. They know already. There is no intimidation
Okay.
anywhere. They know already.
If,
These
if you
are
say that,
fairly fairly sophisticated state. Osun is a fairly sophisticated state, so it's not a backward state like that. It's a fairly sophisticated state. They know who they want to vote for. You say it from now till tomorrow, nothing will happen. Money exchange hands. People collected money. They still voted for who they wanted to vote for. It's
there is
legitimate in a way because yes, so we should be careful the way we do it so that it should not resort to bric-a-bats and then they will start firing guns and stuff like that one. The security details because they can be overzealous most times.
okay. This
But
man
I don't say
this man will violently disagree with you. It's a former sports minister, Solomon Dalong, says President Bola Tinubu will suffer a woeful defeat in 2027, regardless of political appointments or defections to the ruling party. The ADC chieftain says the Osun election is evidence that governance and political heavyweights cannot guarantee victory. He believes Tinubu's performance, regional politics, and public dissatisfaction will be major factors. So here is a Dalong, and also Baba Ahmed. I think I read Baba Ahmed 2 days ago, insisting that if the election is free and fair, that Tinubu cannot stand a chance. This confidence. Where are they getting their confidence from?
These men, they are just appointed into government. They never won any election before. So let's wait and see. Such men, I've heard them. They've been in the political arena for a long while, been appointed head of this, minister of that, and stuff. So they are used to power already. But to conduct an election and win an election, it's not their forte. So I will tell them, okay, let's wait and see. We will see. And of course, I don't expect them to say something else. They are opposition party. If I was in their shoes, I would say worse. If I was in their shoes, I would say what? Yeah, I would say the same thing. Who wants to say that we have given up already? We are not winning. It's fine. It's not political. It's fine.
Okay, thank you. We'll take a short break on Niger Trends now and come back to do the rest. And also, hopefully, I'll get play my Let's Rewind. Okay, here, let's see. It says, recognize Sasha featuring Shasha P and all that. All sorts of names here. Okay, let's see what this means.
Uncle Fai, so I'm taking my leave now.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, sir.
Take care. I'll be so, bro.
Yes, sir.
See, I'm feeling myself, staring in the mirror, then I'm checking myself. I'm gonna talk through, recognize
And that's Sasha featuring a gentleman called the Suspect, and the song is Recognized.
This is the Vintage Talkshow with Femi Akintunde-Johnson, the coach.
Well, during the week, Atiku stirred the honest net, so to speak, when it even got the angst of the presidency. Presidential aides were fuming. Even the president passed a snide remark along the way. ADC presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar says he will restore petrol subsidy if elected president in 2027. Atiku, who initially supported subsidy removal, now questions where the savings have gone, despite government claims of 15.8 trillion naira saved. He says any stolen subsidy funds will be recovered and redirected towards healthcare, education, security, and youth empowerment. Well, his critics pointed to the 2022 statement that he will remove fuel subsidy because it was fraudulent. So the president reminded him during the week. I said, "Why are you going back to fraud? What's it called fraud?" And he called him. Said some people are ignorant in economic matters. And of course, the article fired back and said all sorts of things and all that. The point is, I saw the publication government explaining how monies were shared and the savings from subsidy, 41% to state, 20 something percent to local government, 37 or thereabout to the federal government. That's the sharing. That is sharing pattern. You share this 15.8 trillion among those, but how were these portions spent? That means all the 36 governors have to line out and explain how their largesse, how they share their largesse, or how they spent it. And the federal government will declare their own. Clearly, we're not talking about just how the allotment of these monies were made. And now, God help us to ask the 777 local governments in Nigeria how you spent your 20 whatever percent of these trillions. It's like a conundrum. It's that needs to be some kind of transparency. If you are saving money and year to year or month to month. This is what we have saved in the first quarter of this year, the second quarter of this year. This is what we have done with it. This is how you have spent it. That's called transparency, and that helps with what we call faith or trust in government. But this blanket thing 2 years after, I mean, look at what the coordinating Minister of Finance said recently. Uh, to the extent that Nigeria's 36 states and the FCT have increased their combined 2026 budget by nearly 48% to over 40 trillion. But the proportion devoted to capital, I mean, it keeps on going down. The proportion devoted to capital project has dropped from 73% to 64%. And which make the analyst to warn. Okay, this is where I'm coming to. Finance Minister Taiwo Oyedele says Nigeria saved 15.8 trillion from petrol subsidy removal between June 2023 and December 2025. He says 5.4 trillion went to the federal government, while 10.4 trillion was shared by states and local governments. Okay? However, the government also borrowed 11.9 trillion during the period, highlighting the continuing pressure on public finances. How is all this? You save money and you are still borrowing, and it's all jumble up. You know, if you are saving, and I mean you save 15, why do you need to borrow 11? Why don't we? I don't know. Maybe because I'm not a financial wizard. I mean, you make 15.8, then you borrow 11.9. So, you are talking about 27 million, trillion, thereabout. You know, you're even trying to refinance your debts, the high yielding debts, they are refinancing it from what they have saved. It's a little bit mumbo jumbo. And is this why they say their macro level of the economy is well handled and is doing well and all that? Is this why Nigerians are not seeing it? The micro level is parlous and painful and all that. Because all this financial gymnastics, I don't know. It's terribly demystifying. Imagine, I mean, we have all this money, capital projects are going down. That means the current expenses are the one swallowing most of the money. You know, it will affect infrastructure development. It will affect investment. It will affect economic growth. It will all kinds of things. You know, I don't know how you do it. You know, Well, we're still on Niger trends, still talking Nigerian issues, trending problems, trending issues within the Nigerian state. The show is Niger Trends, and it's an opportunity to call to hear your thoughts and share your minds and your views civilly and as briefly as possible. The number to call again is 0913 697 3485. I think I have two more stories that I manage before I go into my. No, I think I would need enough of this, enough of this, enough of that. Okay. Um, the Police Community Relations Committee says only about 5% of Nigerian police force personnel are responsible for its poor public image. PCRC Chairman Mogaji Olaniyan praised the complaint response unit. Okay, let me take a break. I'll come back to that story. As a caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Who am I speaking to?
Like I used to say. Anyone that enters power through vote buying, admin, intimidation, cash and carry any and judiciary conspiracy can never be accountable to you. It's like putting an Agbero in a vault of a central bank. From the first date, you remove subsidy, you are taxing the daylight of Nigerians, you are borrowing money. What have you been able to use? I mean, what did you use the money for? You are buying jets, you are buying escalates, you are buying cars for senators, more than 300 senators and stuff like that.
Build, building roads.
Asking us to tighten our belt, and rather, we cannot account for all the subsidy money, all the borrowing with billions and every other thing, and you are telling lies that you are saving trillions. All the paper, all those lies of paperwork and all, these governments cannot fool Nigerians. So far, they can never be accountable to you because the process that brought them into power is not credible. Like I used to say, you can't give what you don't have. So all these things that they are doing, patch, you can see that they have not been transparent in everything that they have been doing from the one. You have
Lekon has by his own self trampled his connection somehow. So as I was saying, the PRC chairman Magaji Olaniyan praised the complaint response unit for tackling misconduct. I think he's trying to get back to us. Hello. Oh, good morning.
there's nothing to justify 32 commissioners of police in elections that happened last week in Nigeria State. And the president was not a sign of ability. If the president was a sign of ability, he would have withheld the local government money for how many months now, how many years now. And when people try to push narrative that suits their sentiment, then you want to have ways of disability. You understand? 32 commissioners of police, and still there were still breaches, security breaches in about 5 major places in Osun State last week. Serious shootout. Yes, that was a time. I mean, Adeleke will not tell Osun people to vote for. If Osun people can stand with Adeleke, collected 70,000 naira, still voted for Adeleke, they should know that Osun people are 26 people. So that people will win, Atiku will win, Obi will win. Let the people decide. Don't cheat anybody. Don't use Agbero. Don't use INEC to use and what have you. Let the election be free and clear. That's how we know which way. That's for that. Therefore, subsidy, it is the craziest experience to have. And the euphoria that the president had on that day, which of course led him thinking everybody into the ocean of poverty today, was that statement he made, subsidy is gone. How can you make that kind of statement? You've just been appointed to do a job. You've not even got inside to see the books, to see the true state of affairs of things. In terms of financial, material, what have you. You just say, I think we are God. Let there be light, and there was light. If you are not God now, look at the consequences. And even I will remember, May 29, Monday, May 29, 2023, Tuesday, Wednesday, people were like, okay, is he going to change it? Is it true? Is it whatever? And before he get out of line, it was a brilliant or a more brilliant president. They would have known that the decision he made was just a suicide for him in his country where the people work and you expect the people. You understand? Because he's not going to work anywhere. Nigeria to start with is an oil producing country. No refinery. Why do we have to import? Because Nigeria does not have refinery. And you have spent billions of money to revamp the refinery that is still in comatose. No government, no sensible government will watch that without even calling anybody. Who are the people stealing? Who are stealing money? America is subsidizing, UK is subsidizing. Look at the now what that started just in February now. Countries that are not even oil producing countries. Talk of Europe, talk of Asia, They are subsidizing everything for their people. What has they what has it changed now? From 800 to 1,300 that are buying petrol. And we are not careful. If the war continues, because the war is not going to abate anytime soon. Iran is trying to be a gun, Trump is still standing in gun, and is likely to extend even till after the November election in America, which of course will even cause more complication. That means that up to December, January elections, and they will still be this problem. You know, people are not thinking. And this woman can get 1,800, 2,000 naira per liter. That's what they're going to be spending for the election. Now, going back to the subsidy matter, you now say subsidy is gone. How much have they paid? Because they are paid 15 trillion. Now, fine, please, sir. If the cost that you want to pay to 15 trillion, can you quantify the pain, the burden, the material losses that Nigerians have experienced in 2029 today? Is it 15 trillion equivalent? Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
If you do a cost benefit analysis now, you have saved 15 trillion. Then how much have you lost in terms of material?
Yeah.
In terms of transportation cost of living, everything. If at all, 50 trillion is all we can say. Why can't you, if at all you are not doing, I'm not even assuming they are sensible things, doing things right. If 50 trillion is all you can say, is just 1.5 years, this is about 24 plus 6, 30 months. Why can't you just look at a way of saving 500? You're not cutting cost of government. You have 50 ministers, you have a scanning, you have everything. You're just wasting money, spending money like birthday boys. Now you're not telling us somebody is gone and you're pleasing. And then people should Nigeria is not good in the country. For God's sake, it's not an opinion to be held any year. I think we have come up with a very valid position now. It's going to return the property back. Why can't you give these people good oil at a specific target? Okay, I'm going to give you 500,000 barrels. Do this output for me, petrol, million liters, the diesel million liters, and this is how all this is distributed at a total and so price. It's possible. Even everything is all working. You can do that with Dangote. The president wants you to do that because it's a business plan. We have forgotten that this service is not for profit making. It is purely to serve the people. Yes, the brain of the government. Look at what is happening. You are running in government, and people looking to give. Can you imagine the level of the population in Nigeria? You know what happened to the medicine? People who are sick. Okay, so you talk about you know how many more people now who are going through serious issues.
Yeah.
They can't people. Every time these people, and you are feeling you are running in government, you want to continue on this platform, on this.
Thank you for the call. And yet, which is quite exasperating, and yet we have 11 trillion borrowed alongside. It's dividing Nigerians. They are non-plus. They are confused. How don't they feel what ordinary people feel? That's essentially the idea. Why do you take us through all this? I mean, I feel this morning the guy was on the bill was 1,000. On the machine it's 1,250. They changed the money overnight, but they have not switched it on their board. And I mean that's just 1,000 for fuel. I mean everything shouldn't just be about economic reality. There's something called cost of living. Yes, yeah. Another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Okay.
Because from the submission of Mr. Tolulokwe, I see that so far this government is not really adding up. Look at it from the one when the said subsidy was gone and the whole economy was acting. Now, because of no light because of the taxing and every other thing. More than 7.2 million private, public, and shut down because of your economic policies. So everything is just upside down. Look at the state of our education, the state of our health, and every other sector is totally down. All because of we don't have the right people in power. And that's why we in this nightmare. So now it's a reality check for Nigerians now as we are entering into this 2027 election that we should use this Osun as a case study to make sure that our votes, and we should not allow this kind of people to enter power again because it will be a disaster if we allow this kind of people to enter power again. Like I used to say, you don't give what you don't have. It's a shame the world of us is showing the best of us.
Thank you, Lekan. With your our final story is one of I'm just a little bit shocked. We have quite a number, but let me just look at this man, Ayedatiwa, Ondo State Governor Lucky Ayedatiwa has approved the appointment of more than 1,000 political aides, including one commissioner, 3 special advisors, 90 senior special assistants, and 910 special assistants. The governor says the appointments are aimed at strengthening governance and improving service delivery. Critics are likely, however, to question the financial implication of such a large political support structure. Does it make economic sense? It is close to the next election. You're handing over 1,000 aides. Is it this where is that when they share these trillions to the state? Is it where the is it where the government in the states are pouring their money in, setting up political structures and all that? It's a horrendous. Hello, good morning. Uh, Good morning, Obi. I'm fine, thank you. Are you?
That is why the president told us that the money that they recovered from the subsidy removal that we gave it to the government. Look at it now. Where he gave the money to the government. They are employing spokespersons and EAs up and down. For a day, it was about 4,000. I heard the figure now 1,000. So you see,
Oh my.
the president is telling us to go and ask our government. I don't know, maybe it's left for him now. This is a very clear case. Left for him to call on government and ask them that this EAs and this thing that he will use the money that I gave for subsidy removal. You know, when you take at the percentage of this sector that they employ compared to the totality of Nigerians. I'm not a mathematician. In fact, my brother, 4,000, let's assume 36 states they employ for 4,000 plus the civil servants and everything. I go up to 0.001% of the total population of Nigeria. And that is why the poverty level is too high, my brother. Because when you say you're paying salary, president is proud to tell you that you're paying salary. Salary from who? How many Nigerians are you paying their salary? When you talk to them, they say they get student loan. That is the next thing. That is the only thing they have for campaign. Because that road. My brother, if you travel from Lagos to South East, my brother, you hell on earth. My cousin that traveled spent 2 days from Imo State to Lagos. 2 days on the road. 2 days. A journey of 6 hours.
Wow.
And we will come already.
Wow.
They come and start telling us stories. Just because they think that Nigerians, because of this divide and rule, they divide us, they make us to quarrel among ourselves using religion and tribe. Because we don't have central party to defend ourselves. You understand? So it's a thing of I don't know who is going to deliver from this because the propaganda and lies are so many that
just thinking and thinking and thinking. But what I suggest, I don't know what I should say. If instead of spending this money, I make money, let them use this money to build road and let's return President Tinubu. Let's use the money to
Oh my.
say President continue. Use this thing to build instead of stop and die. Thank you.
That's the voice of frustration. Let's go share the money. Let's go build whatever and forget about elections and killings and all that will follow the elections. Oh my. It's a tough world. Okay, I'm trying to devolve into let's rewind, but there's a caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Billion, almost a trillion to better INEC.
Yeah,
Why not use that money to build those schools? Because the election will never be free and fair. That's aside. There was this editorial from Economics, American magazine, is a global magazine. I think August was there about. They spoke about the construction company, and the construction company owner, yes, and the contract is awarded in Nigeria.
yeah.
Because you mentioned Coastal Road now. The Coastal Road and other projects that people are giving to Israel gave us a growth. That economy is $20 billion equivalent without approval. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Where did the money, the trillions, the subsidy savings, where did it go? Why are we saving money and still borrowing money? It's an interesting conundrum. Does it make sense to remove subsidy, save money, and then share it to states whose first assignment is to build political structures and people it with thousands of people as aides? Hello, good morning.
Calling back.
Yes.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Man is going to. Because the man is trying to remember what happened in real estate. We had a spot, it came forth. Because he still has a court case, so he has to file with the UK who is in control of the judiciary and the president. He has to, work with them to the case is over. He is even if not kill him. He knows what he's doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Obi. Yeah. Well, thank you all the callers on Niger Trends. I want to call it a day on Niger Trends. We started a little bit late, and I want to play some music, my old stuff. I remember it's called Let's Rewind. Is is a way of honoring legacies of our great entertainers who produced music that became virtual national anthems. I've not been able to play them for weeks. So if I can play a couple today, I'll be so happy. Will you let me? We call it Chatbusters of yesteryears. Today we go back to the mid 70s and we start with Commander Ebenezer. Commander 80 something now, 83 now. Commander Ebenezer Obey says Edumare Soromi Dayo.